Hello, my name is PJ and I am an alcoholic. I'm excited to be sitting here right now. I've got myself a new laptop. This is something that I had been thinking about doing for a long time. I'm really passionate about the AA program, about a 12-step program that's designed for living. I'm sitting here with a smile on my face right now, having just figured out how to get the audio dialed for this video. This is my second time recording the personal introduction. I'm doing it again, having improved the audio quality, and I'm excited to get something good put together, something I can share with you guys, even if nobody listens to it. I'm excited. I did this. I accomplished this. It's something I've been thinking about doing for a long time, and now that I have this new laptop, right, reminds me of something somebody said in Alcoholics Anonymous, talking about having a new car. And this guy got a new car, and this other guy said to him, he said, that's not your car, that's God's car. He's just letting you use it. What are you going to do with it? What does that mean? What does that mean, right? It's for a guy like me, without a program of recovery, without a connection with a higher power, without having taken these suggestions. I have nothing in my life. It didn't start that way, but towards the end, I had nothing. I had no happiness. I had no serenity. I had no car. I had no laptop. I went from being a very capable human being, college degrees, things like that. Even though I was anxious and I was restless, I still had things. And at the end, I didn't have anything. I lived in the gutter the last 4 years of my addiction. Yeah, so this new laptop, this is not PJ's laptop, it's God's laptop. He's just letting me use it. So what am I going to do with it? That was ringing in my head. It's a nice laptop too. So what am I going to do with it? Well, here I am. Here I am. This is what I'm doing with it. Going to do an Alcoholics Anonymous book study. It's been a while. My sobriety date is 3/11/18. I read the big book cover to cover probably about 4 years ago. I have not read it cover to cover since then. I've read parts of it. I have a very full life. Some sponsors sit down and read the big book chapter by chapter, page by page with each one of their sponsees, and I sponsor a lot of guys, and I'm in school and I work full time, and I like to do stuff like this. But I have other important things, other things being of service. And if I was reading the big book with every one of my sponsees, page by page, it's all I would be doing. So hopefully that I can be of service to them if they're interested in hearing what I have to say about the big book, reading it. You'll see I'm not going to re-record the big book introduction video, so my apologies. The audio isn't going to be quite as pristine as this is, but this is my attempt at being at service, right? This is not PJ's laptop. This is God's laptop. What are you going to do with it, right? Being of service is one of the suggestions that was given to me. And what are these suggestions for, right? I don't do the program at Alcoholics Anonymous anymore for physical sobriety. To be honest, physical sobriety by itself is not it's not a gift. It's not a gift. You take away the alcohol, you take away the drugs, and if I don't have something more than that, that was my solution. That was the solution where I feel you take that away and I feel even worse. I'm just as sick as I ever was. If you take that stuff away from me, I was telling my sponsor early on, I'm like, oh, I've relapsed a whole bunch of times. And he goes, oh, no. He's like, you've never relapsed? I'm like, oh, yeah, I did. He's like, no, you just went back to using. You went back to drinking. He's like, you never relapsed. You never recovered, right? You never recovered. And that's the truth of the matter. I was just as sick as I ever was, having stopped the alcohol, having stopped the drugs. And this time I have some recovery. I have some recovery in my belt. I feel like I'm recovered, right? I feel like that I'm healthy. I feel like I can relax. I can feel like that I can breathe. I feel, and I act in such a way that if I went back to using or I went back to drinking now, I would consider it, I would call it consider it a relapse because I feel that I've recovered, and part of being recovered after having put in some effort to relieve that emotional and spiritual baggage of becoming an adult is some maintenance stuff. It's some maintenance stuff, and these suggestions were given to me. And why do I want to follow these suggestions? Is because I do not want to become restless, irritable, and discontent again. I use restless and irritable and discontent as precursors to cravings, to that of cravings. I absolutely hate cravings. I hate it if it's an emotion. Cravings is the least is it's the worst emotion. Having cravings for alcohol and drugs and not being able to drink and use is the most miserable experience I've ever had in my entire life, right? So if all I have to do is live by some simple principles of the program, being kind, loving, patient, tolerant, honest, having integrity, being of service, if that's all I have to do, not have cravings anymore, sign me up. I'm surrendered to that. I'm totally cool. I'm totally cool with living that way of life if I'm not going to have to deal with cravings, right? So part of staying on that level is being of service. So here I am with my laptop. What am I going to do with it? I'm going to read the big book. I'm going to read at least the first 164 pages. It outlines the program. I'm going to start the preface and the table of contents, break it down, doctor's opinion, and then jump into the chapters. I'm going to highlight some stuff. I'm going to look up some words. If I don't know the words, I'm going to look up the words on Google Dictionary. And yeah, I'm going to have some fun with this. I'm going to have some fun with this. I like having fun. I'm able to have fun. I'm able to have fun with things in my life. Again, thanks to this program. At best, before I put a few drinks in me and I could have fun. And I think that's why society likes alcohol so much. Is I can put a few drinks in me before things got out of hand. I can put a few drinks in me, and I can revert back to that childlike state of happiness, right? Happy, joyous, and free. Put some drinks in me so I can be happy, joyous, and free. That's what everybody does or tries to do at the bar on Friday night. You ever watch a group of 5-year-olds having a birthday party? They don't need alcohol to be happy, joyous, and free and dance and party, and they're having a great old time. They're not tight yet. They don't have the emotional and spiritual baggage of becoming an adult. And it happens to all of us, some worse than others. When I was a kid, I used to look at adults and I wondered why they didn't smile, or at least smile as much. And it's because of the emotional, spiritual baggage of becoming an adult. You get fear, you get resentment, you get character defects, and you get guilt and shame. And that stuff makes me tight. It makes me tight. It makes me anxious. It makes it hard for me to laugh and have fun. It makes it hard for me to sleep at night. Through working this program, I've been able to revert back to that childlike state of happiness. Not childish, sometimes childish, but generalized childlike. But I'm an adult, so I can do cool things. I can do. The world is here for me to have fun with my recovery, have fun with it. So hopefully you guys can have some fun with me doing this. Maybe I can I don't know. Here I am. I'm going to share my experience, strength, and hope with you guys. I hope you guys get something out of it, and if you don't, that is okay too, because I would like to speculate that while I'm doing this one day at a time, that I'm going to stay sober. I'm going to stay emotionally sober. Right? I'm going to stay spiritually fit and emotionally sober. And that's all I got for you for this introduction. So stay blessed. I'll talk to you guys soon.